City is boxing in from the city of New York. It's my pleasure to introduce one of the professional boxers, Nisa Rodriguez, with us. Thank you for being here. Enough, the fight fans, where we at and who is this gym.
Hi everyone. We're here in the last round in Midtown Manhattan, and it's one of those hidden gems that you have in the city. So definitely somewhere to come and stop by and look at.
Oh, great. I mean, when it comes to, all these athletes and, of course, people in general, like, where they want to come and, of course, training, they can make this, like, their home. And eventually, you are one of the examples that comes here, support the gym and all of that. How is it for you to, work over here? I mean, and eventually come, when I say work, like, training here in this place. How's the environment?
It's beautiful. The good thing is that I live in the area. Not only that, but we're like blocks away from Madison Square Garden, so a lot of people that are fighting in the garden know about this gym. They come train here, so you get, every once in a while, you don't know who's gonna walk in. Maybe your favorite fighter, someone that's fighting in the card. So not only is it very comforting gym, it's also like just another family. Everybody that goes to the boxing gyms, they know the rugged ones, the ones that's like almost like a hole in the wall, are the best gyms because everybody's tight knit.
Yes, you just mentioned something and came in my mind very quick. We're close to Madison Square Garden. I know you coming, it's coming a day for you fight. Let us know, when is the day and what's going to be, in this fight.
June 8th, I'll be fighting in the TopRank card. You got to kick off the Puertorican Day weekend, and I feel blessed. My first fight was March 15th in the Garden, and I'm back in there, and within this is like a month or so I'm excited.
Hey, what can I say? It's amazing when females, perform now, and I see this, events that they're, especially like promoters like Bob Aaron, Eddie Hearn, Golden Boy, and so many, promoters out there, that they putting now women's boxing. Talking about women's boxing, what's your thoughts on women's boxing now that we're looking forward in this era?
I think when I started back in, I want to say 2006, 2005, it wasn't a lot of attention, even in the amateurs. They weren't paying for the women to go to National Golden Gloves, but they paid for the men to go to all these other tournaments. So I had somebody that really believed in me, and unfortunately, they moved from the city with another famous household name, was Mendez Boxing Gym, and now they're in Harlem. But he was like the only one that was believing in women's boxing. He was one of my trainers for a point, and it was something that was beautiful. Now you have people like AmandaSerrano, KatieTaylor, and AmandaSerrano really put us on the map as far as equal pay, as far as just the recognition that women boxing deserves.
Hey, it's true. I mean, we were talking out of the camera, but now we're doing it inside the camera. I was just, mentioning that I did my job, in order to interview so many fighters all around the world, because some of them, I do like video phone calls and all of that, but most likely, the females that I've been interviewing, all of them from Mexico, some of them, and I've been asking, what's your thoughts on AmandaSerrano? All of them, they tell me that she's the pioneer in boxing, with all due respect to KatieTaylor and other, champions, Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshalls, and, the list is super big if we continue, naming and saying names. But as a reference, as a Latin, they have, AmandaSerrano like the voice and carries the torch for many women's out there. They're coming, upcoming fighters in this career. What's your thoughts when you hear something like this from other ethnicities and they think, that or AmandaSerrano?
I think it's awesome because it's not only boxing is a sport in itself that whether you're a female or male, you have to give respect because it's not easy, one, to be training because you have to live boxing. It's not something that you play it. It becomes a lifestyle. Two, to be able to go and fight in these arenas and in these shows, a lot of people are not cut out for this. So you also have like these gym rats, what you call them, that they just spar in the gym and train, but they never go to that extra level. And to be able to be in the sport for so many years, because not only the fights are gruesome, think about the training camp, the sparring, the workouts. It takes a lot on your body. And she holds herself with class. So it goes to show not only the rugged part of boxing, but you're still a woman, you're still a female, you're still a lady, and she acts like one. So that's someone that I've always admired too. I had the pleasure of, sparring with her. I know her sister, and it's someone that you want in your circle, someone that you want to be like, wow, I like the way she carries herself. I'll watch the press conference, I'll watch the fights. It's how she, not only how she fights, but how she does her interviews, how she carries herself.
It's true. I mean, she's, as you mentioned, she carries herself, really well when it comes to, express, all these thoughts and everything that she goes through, because there are so many things. Like right now, we are right here at the gym, but a lot of people don't know, the sacrifices and all these things that all of you fighters, whether it's a male fighter, professional boxer as well, they go through, and sometimes it's easy to criticize, but I always tell people, encourage people, come to the gym, support, your local boxers, whether it's an amateur or professional, because, hey, they need you, and there's so much, that we could contribute supporting these athletes. So I think it's amazing when we see things like that, and then also you express, how it's for you to be the way you are as a professional boxer. Talking about as a professional boxer, I know a little bit of, that when it comes to yourself, that you used to be, in school, some kind of, I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna ask you, what was, to motivate you to become a boxer, because also, for the Vikings and everyone I know, you also do a police, thing in the department of NYPD. So, taking my hat right in front of you, because that's so much.
Thank you.
How do you combine all of this, and how is it, for you to do training and going to do your duties, and not only that, being a mom as well?
I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint where it comes from. Since I was young, I was a single parent with my oldest son, and all I did was train, work, and go to school. So it just became a habit. I came from two very hardworking parents that came over here from the island, from Puerto Rico, and that's all they did. So that's all I saw them do, and that's the lifestyle that I know. A lot of people don't realize the hard work that comes with having one career, and then on top of that, being a police officer too. But before this, I was a teacher in Harlem. So when there were situations that we had to lock down the school, or we had students that passed away from gun violence or gang violence or getting caught up, I told myself this wasn't enough for me. Like, I can't have my hands tied and not knowing what's going on. So then that's when I went to the NYPD. And fortunately now, I work for the chief of department. I run New York City Cops and Kids that was made by Pat Russo. And I'm able to give that opportunity to kids. Anything that's going on citywide, especially when it comes to the Bronx, that's something that comes very dear to my heart. And I make sure that I give kids what they need. And unfortunately, we don't have enough free programs. And my forte is boxing. So sometimes a kid doesn't want to play basketball, they don't want to play football, they don't want to talk, they need to hit something. And that's why we need more gyms. We need more people, even if your gym is not free, to sponsor kids and allow them to train, allow them to, work half time. Give them the work ethics that sometimes they're not given at home. And it doesn't take away from my household, because you think about a lot of the low income areas, they're either single parents or double parents working 2-3 jobs, and then trying to be home for your kids. And your kids is being raised by either social media or by the streets. So if they have somewhere positive to go, then I feel like it would affect us so much better, not only on the department side, because crime will come down, but as far as like building our future leaders.
Exactly, and I like to hear, from yourself, that you are also a pioneer in your family, and not only that, role model that a lot of people will follow you, especially because you mentioned, tough times, rough times that you went through, and of course, being a teacher and seeing all these things going on, I think, motivates you to be the person that you are, and especially, to try to help, people out there. No one wants to see a violence, no one wants to see these things happen in our neighborhoods, and I think you are the right model in order to, the role model in order to follow. So, congratulations on that. And I'm pretty sure that your family and myself, we're proud of that. When I see, and I say proud of that because I contribute and support women's boxing. Talking about women's boxing, I know last time when we had AmandaSerrano, KatieTaylor, that was an incredible fight.
Amazing fight.
Amazing fight. Second fight, we just, were in the press conference where, both of them, they meet each other along with Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. What's your thoughts on this upcoming, second fight, AmandaSerrano, KatieTaylor?
I mean, the first fight was outstanding. So the second fight, I think it's going to be more hype than the Tyson Wilder second fight, because it was an amazing fight. And it's not, when people speak of it, it's not like it was an amazing women's fight. It was an amazing fight. The recognition that boxers are supposed to have, not just, oh, they look good for women. So it's something definitely outstanding.
I totally agree with you, and I know it's gonna be exciting to see what outcome will be, because my respect for both of them, for anyone out there, because I know they work hard, and I know, it's gonna be amazing what outcome will be. And I know a lot of people would love to see AmandaSerrano win, and I know a lot of people would love to see KatieTaylor win. In my eyes, both of them, they're champions. In my eyes, respect for both of them, because they're gonna perform, great. And as they mentioned in the press conference, this is a better fight for both of us, because when I say both of us, I'm talking about them. They already said, they know each other, so I think they know what to do.
I think I'm a little biased. I gotta go with Amanda. Not only that she's Puerto Rican, but that's my girl, so
Hey,
I'm going for Amanda.
So much support for AmandaSerrano, because I've been in her training camps and all of that, thanking to them to one time, a few times they allowed me to be there. I know she trains super hard. I know she trains super tough, and that's why I encourage, people, to come and support, women's boxing, whether it's AmandaSerrano, KatieTaylor, yourself as well, because I'm pretty sure you having people right behind yourself that they look at you as a role model, and they be like, I want to be like yourself. So that's one thing that, you are the pioneer also from many girls behind yourself. And talking about boxing, I know you're in the middleweight division. Well, I'm talking about an icon that right now everyone is targeting from many weight divisions. We just, hear Terence Crawford would love to, fight Canelo, Charlo, and other people, including Benavidez, that a lot of people were expecting that. What's your thoughts on CaneloAlvarez, that right now he's the target from many boxers, including Edgar Berlanga, that he's a New Yorican, he wants to fight Canelo, only things, and only God knows if that's going to happen. So what's your thoughts on
I think at this point, Canelo doesn't really have nothing to prove. He's been in the game so long. He's paid his dues when he came in. He, started at 16 when he went pro. He fought everybody and anybody. He didn't have an excuse. And again, after all the years of doing this 12-round fights, 3 minutes a round, it's a lot of the body too. And, we see it a lot of times, especially with Hispanic fighters. It doesn't seem like they know when to stop, because it becomes an addiction. Right? You've been doing it for so long, you're on top for so long, and then just finding something like that kind of takes place of what it is, that sensation of getting in the ring, of fighting, of it's you and the other person, it's hard. So I've noticed that with a lot of people. You've seen it a lot with De La Hoya, Tito, Hopkins. There's so many names that go out there. And at this point, that's someone that I love to mimic. His defense is, A1. So that's someone, not only that I watch him, but my trainer is also Mexican, Jimmy Sosa from Cops and Kids. And that's someone that is like, those styles come into play. One of the biggest rivals you've seen over the years is always the Puerto Ricans versus the Mexicans. So imagine if you have that infused, that's basically what my boxing style is.
Hey, I get it. I know you're learning from, as you just mentioned, the coach who is a Mexican, and I know when you mention Mexico and Puerto Rico, that's a great rivalry when it comes to boxing and the sport, because we know at the end of the day, we're coming down from the ring and all of that, shaking hands and all of that, just the respect of the sport as a gentleman, of course, as a ladies as well, because hey, it's amazing how all of you, and whether it's a female or male athletes, they bring the sports for for audience and all of that. 8 June 7, June 8th, yeah, my bad, is the day that eventually you're gonna come and perform. Any message that you would like to send the fight fans and everyone before we wrap it up the interview?
I just want to say June 8th, Madison Square Garden. You got a great card. Main event is Anizayas, another upcoming, the next Tito Trinidad. So it's going to start off Puerto Rican Day weekend, and come see us in the parade after.
Definitely, we will be there, and we'll stay tuned. And if fight fans cannot come, of course, we're gonna, there is a link always on TopRank, to purchase, the fight and everyone, because I know sometimes it's impossible to be there, but, through the websites and all of that. So they will be able to see your fight, and if there can be available to come, of course, I encourage everyone to come, support yourself and the whole event. Thanks for everything. Wishing nothing but the best.
Thank you.